What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're in the first round of Speed Week, Athens Twilight. As always, let's jump into the race stats real quick. Today we were riding along with our boy Bryce, coming in at an FTP of 355, watts per kg 3.9, weighing in at 200, race age 30. Catch our boy on the street with some socks and sandals. Bryce, you're in here with us today. How tall are you?
I am 6'4".
Heck yeah. Real quick, we'll jump into the race stats. Keep this thing rolling. 43 minutes, just over 18 miles, 25.6 average speed, normalized power 331, average power 293. It might not say it in the stats right here, but this race was a bruiser. Today we are riding with 80 plus crazy people in the Cat 2-3 field. And man, the weather was great. The course was really fun. There's some sketchy parts in there, but it's a good time. If you guys like what you see, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for joining on with us, and we're gonna get this thing on the road. So Bryce, we told ourselves it's me, you, and Nick for Newtype riding today. We're all Cat 3s. Why did we line up so far back? Like we know better than this.
Yeah, we like you said, we did the recon. We finished up our warm up pretty early, and the first thing that we wanted to do is, kind of get close to the gate, but apparently like 10-15 minutes to the gate wasn't early enough. So we, unfortunately we had really bad. We were pretty much in the back to start off the race. Yeah,
and coming to the first lap right here, like already having to put out 1,000 watts and just chase the field, and you're going to see that's going to be a trend for this whole crit is going to be chasing. And turn 4, which we'll hit in a second, is kind of the sketchiest part of the track, and there's a little bit of water and some sidewalk paint, and it was a little sketch. And so first lap we're going to see a little bit of a carnage, and Bryce, I'll let you kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, so turn 3 that we're going into right now widens up a lot. It's really fast. The outside corner of this was the fastest line. That was probably the best turn of the course in my opinion. But it would set you up for that water feature. There was someone who actually crashed right there. But yeah, that water feature, if you didn't hit that straight on, it would really it would just make you kind of like get nervous, and you would grab brakes, and if you did that, you of course slipped out. So it was just something, it was a feature that had to be navigated, and definitely added to a lot of the chaos of today.
Yeah, and we've done bigger field races like this before, and we know that, from the gun, it's going to be all out for at least 10 to 15 minutes. So you just got to hold on and be ready. You definitely don't want to get dropped, and that's just kind of the name of the game for this first part of the video. And you really got to navigate through all the guys who can't take corners well, and there goes 1,200 watts, Bryce. So you want to get around those guys that can't navigate well, that are a little unsure of the course. I mean, look at the rear cam. Like, we're already blowing guys off, and it's the second lap.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It's like you're trying to figure out. You're playing this game. Like, I'm already at 182. We're on lap. We're finishing up lap 2. People are kind of gasping already for air. They're making small minor mistakes. Like it's kind of like a war zone out there right now. So I was doing my best to keep my head on a swivel and try to like react accordingly, but as a result, I'm just in the back half, and I am battling the accordion pretty much this entire race, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, good news is the reason we're showing your footage is because you don't get dropped. So without further ado, let's skip ahead a little bit further into the race and get to some more action. All right, everybody, we are 8 minutes in. We have kind of survived the purge, I would say, of the back half of the field. But at this point, it's time to start using a couple matches, moving up, and also like keeping your head on a swivel, because we're in the group with guys that are strong, but might not necessarily be the best at cornering. The Cat 3 field is this weird place to be right now in cycling, because everyone has all these trainers at home, but they might not have a lot of local group races or group practice rides that they get to go do. So when we show up to Athens at a massive crit, like, yeah, you can hold your own weight on the straightaway, but in the corner, you're pulling brakes and you're slowing me and my boys up.
Yeah, there's a lot of people grabbing brakes. Like I said, this corner, given the bad crash on the 4-5 field, I think people definitely had that in mind going into it. So, it's just one of those things that you just have to like completely forget about and then just race your race. But yeah, like I'm just fighting my field and doing the best I can to get on the better half of this field, so I don't have to fight that elastic. Yeah,
you did a great job right there, moving up, using your advantage. But there's actually, and we'll put some arrows up, there's actually a headwind right here. This is the first bunch, and there's a crash going to be just to your left. A guy touches wheels, goes down, and I am in the worst position. We'll cut over to my footage, and we'll see what just happened to me. I was a little bit further behind you, Bryce, and you're just to my right, and this guy, it just literally falls right in front of me, nowhere for me to go, and I actually bumped shoulders with the dude to my left, and we lean on each other to stay up, and then here I go punching out like 1,000 watts to surge back up to get up to you guys. So that definitely hurt me. Props for you. Choice line, just literally being 1 or 2 rows ahead just makes all the difference on missing some of those close calls.
Yeah, and that's why I think everyone's pushing the pace, because there is that difference in handling skills, group comfortability, and as a result, there's just that push to keep it fast, to string it out, and to force everyone to fight for tooth and nail for every position.
Yeah, man, that looked like it hurt right there, Bryce. That was just like 1,100 watts for a couple seconds, and that's just the name of the game on this one. And all right, we'll skip ahead a little bit to another 1,100 watts right when we skip ahead. We are 21 minutes in. We're just about halfway. And at this point in the race, it's been really surgy. And this is where I feel like all of us on Newtype, we've kind of messed up. We should have burned 1 or 2 matches right here, halfway, to really move up into the top third of the race. And so right here, you'll see it starts surging up, and it starts to put the pain on Bryce and stuff like that.
Yeah, and same thing. It's that this is the headwind section, and it was just so wicked hard.
A little bit of a bad corner, and you have to pay for it. And it's not even a bad corner. Literally, you're taking a good line and being cautious, and you just got to drop 1,100 watts every lap.
Yeah, and on the back half of that elastic, I had to slow down a little bit more than I wanted to. I didn't get to carry as much momentum as I wanted to, and everyone's resting right now going into the corner, and then I'm still doing 800 watts in order to catch up with the group, and then we're slamming on the brakes going into the corner. It's an old story.
Yeah, and we actually talked to some of the guys that were more on the sharp end of the race, and they kind of reiterated what we were feeling in the back, that even the front part of the race was still a little surgy and like a little unorthodox to what this class or category of riders in race should have looked like. We'll see some footage of the amateur finals on another video, but that race was a lot smoother for some reason. I'm not sure why. Just for some reason, this 2-3 race was just wild,
scrappy.
Yeah,
it was super scrappy.
People were hungry, dude. This is the first round of Speed Week, and people were psyched.
Yeah, and you get a whole bunch of people who want to qualify. I think that's the biggest thing, is that the 3
that
field
is unique to Twilight. Yeah, is the amateur finals.
Yeah, like the 3 field is 15 deep, and so every 3, and you can see who a 3 was by the pins. They were like the 800s, and so I'm playing accountant, trying to count all the 8s in front of me.
Check this surge right here. I love this one. So just dropped to 60 miles an hour, 1,000 watts at a turn 1. Slow down slightly again because everyone's 3 wide, and then I'm pretty sure you drop another bomb. Yeah. Which you're a bigger guy, in perspective, like that is more normal for you, but still, it's still 1,000 watts every freaking lap for you to get going.
Yeah, and that's definitely the chink in my armor, is doing 1,000 watts 30 times, in 45 minutes. That's definitely a way to get me tired.
Yeah, totally.
I
All right, we'll skip ahead. We are 33 minutes into this thing, and it's more of the same, guys. But here is where some really, really fun stuff starts happening. The guys, you're getting more and more confident. I believe we're about done with purging the field. I think there's probably like 45 of us left. And we're trying to navigate. We're still just running hot, chasing everything down, but we're trying our best to like leapfrog people. But it's just so hard. This corner was so flowy and fast on the outside, but then you'd have guys dive bomb you. And check this guy on the right here. Pedal slip right in front of Bryce. Hit that water and hit the apex of the paint. And now it punished Bryce because he was behind him. Had to put out 1,000 watts to get around that guy. And dude, I think that happened like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and there's just nothing you can do about it. I mean,
oh yeah, you don't blink and you just keep pedaling. You don't
blink. In the more you dwell on it, the more it's going to make you hesitate. Next time you go into the corner, like I hate to say, you just kind of have to put your trust in the wheel in front of you the most you can. That's just.
I think that's a Carrie Underwood song, something about Jesus take the wheel or something like that.
Yeah, that you just there's really nothing you can do, and you don't have enough time to think about it. It's going to happen. You're either going to go down or you're not.
I loved this course. It was so fun. Like the hill was just enough hill. The turns were fine. Really, if this turn 4, we're going into turn 3 now. If this turn 4 was just a little wider, like this course would just be unreal. I would pay money to do this thing every week. So right here, look up at Nick in the front right. He's gonna try and dive bomb this guy and gets a little elbow check, boom, and does the same thing as the guy at the previous lap. Slides a wheel, hits the paint, and Bryce is paying for it. Yep.
Yeah. Like I said, that corner was the I think someone said it's the water feature that nobody wanted. It really was a pain. It was in the morning. It was in the shade, so it just got greasy and it just did not dry up, and it started to get like slick and like that slimy texture. So yeah, just throughout the day it just kept on getting worse and worse.
Heck yeah. Well, we are pushing ahead a little bit further. We are coming on to 40 minutes in, and really much hasn't happened. I've been stuck behind a couple guys who were just cornering terribly, and so we all kind of started playing like leapfrog with each other, and finally we start moving up slightly, and it really does help with kind of moving around the field. And at this point, I know I don't have the best legs for today. It was just an off day. It happens. Nick is right in Bryce's rear cam right now. And I'm like, hey, let's line this thing up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and keep it smooth for these guys. We're going to try and take a couple positions right here when it slows up. I think Bryce does a good job following me right here. And, dude, is on the headwind, but that's a couple free spots, man, that you just had to take.
Yeah, and, like, I wanted to be right on your wheel, but it's one of those things where it's like, and this is something I got to work on. It's like, how many wheels can I dive bomb?
That's true. Yeah, and before you cause an incident, yeah, I totally agree. And that's the last thing we want to happen is because of all the carnage we've already seen.
Yeah, and I wanted to get right on your wheel and like cut that guy who's like between us right now. I wanted to be on your wheel, but it was one of those things where it's like, there was enough room for you. Was there enough room for me?
Bro, I'm down.
I don't know.
Bowling ball yourself through, man. People bounce off the bumpers. This one I got squeezed, so I had to do kind of what you did, is slow up just a little bit.
And that was the guy who you dive bombed.
Yeah, he got me back.
So this is the game that we were pretty much playing all day. We were just playing onesies, twosies with the back half. Like, we couldn't move up. We tried our best to move up. Like Jared says, like at this point, he's just trying to keep it smooth. And we're trying to move up as much as we can.
Yeah, I think now we're coming to 2 to go right now.
Yeah, that's what I was letting you know, that there was 2 to go. Now is the time to move up if we're going to try to qualify. Of course, everyone is thinking that as well. So we're going to start seeing, bigger surges, harder pulls, the same old, but just a little bit more intense.
I'm glad we got this one out of the way right here, because it was a good refresher on stuff not to do and to really just burn a couple matches soon on fields this size. Because we did the Hincapie series, and I feel like those don't translate as much to this because we're in tight quarters here. We're hitting 90-degree turns. We're going a lot faster. Whereas the road races that we were doing earlier this season with 1-2-3s, you could really relax a little bit longer and then move up a little bit more efficiently. But I mean, you can see now, like, it's ramping up. God, 1,200 watts, Bryce, going into one to go right here.
Yeah, it's and you're dropping me. Like, I'm doing everything I can just to hang on. My heart rate's pinging. Like I said, I did 33 laps or 32 laps, however many times it was that I've hit 1,200 watts. Like, my heart rate's through the roof.
This is the best corner of the entire race right here, because it was the fastest.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, dang, that's nice. And then I'm like, wait, it's the last lap. Of course, it should be this fast. But you guys, I think you and Nick had enough time to recover just slightly, and you guys come around me to fight to try and get a transfer spot. And to be honest, I didn't think we were this far back.
Yeah, I thought
we could see the front of the race.
And I thought that we burned off enough people. Like, that's when I was talking to my coach, like, he made it seem like we would burn off enough threes that it wouldn't be an issue. But I guess that wasn't the case. So, just to play it safe, I was going to give it my all. Try not to sprint for third, but or sprint for 20th. But at this point, I had to do what I needed to do in order to get a couple positions. So
yeah, and you come around a couple guys, put in a good dig, and now you're just riding it out. Nick is in your rear camera right here, and boom, done. Ski, you finished in the threes, 15th. You were the last one to qualify for the amateur finals. And dude, it was awesome. So props to you, man. Nick and myself could not make it in there. It was just one of those things where we were just kind of on rails the whole time. And hey, tell you what, we'll be at Spartanburg and some of these other races for Speed Week, and hopefully it's going to go differently.
Yeah, I think the message is just move up earlier. Like, I think that's the main thing that we have to do is move up early, and then you just hold position.
And don't make it on Crit Drama. All right, guys, appreciate it for watching. Catch you in the next one.